So I heard a lot of people talking about this movie, and I've heard lots of different things. Usually people like the movie, although some people seem to find it disturbing, and I finally watched it. Now I'm going to talk to you about Old Boy. I found it to be a fun movie. I found the music, the decor, the action scenes, everything to be kind of tongue in cheek, kind of funny. I mean, yes, there is a twist to that movie, spoiler. And the twist, some people can find disturbing. So, trigger warning if you find yourself someone who is easily triggered. I do love Korean movies. And as much as this isn't a horror, this is an action thriller something, I do find it worthwhile. I do like the writing, and I do like the plot, and I do like the characters, and just the way the Korean culture does that as far as directing. I love. I love their take, and I recommend this movie. So let me tell you what this movie's about. So this movie's about a man who's imprisoned, and he doesn't know why he's imprisoned. He doesn't know where he is. And after years and years of him being imprisoned, he is let go. And he doesn't know why he was let go. And he goes on he goes Inspector Gadget is what he does. And he tries to figure out who imprisoned him and why he was imprisoned. And he kind of goes on that kind of tangent. And so I'm not going to say anymore. As you can imagine, chaos ensues. And I did like the plot of this movie. I liked the action sequences of the movie. I liked the dialogue in this movie, although I wonder how much is lost in translation because it is a Korean movie that has English subtitles. So I'm assuming it's good dialogue by the translation, but who knows? I thought it was well acted anyway. It seemed to really represent the words that were written on screen. I found that there were different paces of this movie, but I think that was deliberate. I think that everything was sped up during action sequences, and things really slowed down while he was imprisoned. So I think that was something that was intentional. Now, to me, this plot is pretty unique. I'm not sure if there's things out there of this plot, but I really appreciated the take that they had for this kind of thing. I've seen movies where a person's imprisoned and they get out of prison and they have amnesia and they can't quite figure out why they were in prison. I've seen that before. But as far as kind of going on a revenge kick and trying to figure that all out like an inspector and whatever, that's kind of a new thing for me. I wouldn't say that this movie is at all scary. It's not meant to be. I mean, it does have action moments, and depending on your take, you could find the movie a little bit darker and a little bit more disturbing, but I don't see it as you're gonna find it scary. I don't think it's that type of film. As well as I don't think it's the type of film that you would show at a party or, you know, in the background or anything like that. It is in part dialogue heavy, and it does have parts that you really have to pay attention to, and it is English subtitled, so you do have to read it. So I don't think that there's a lot in this movie that you could have just for scenery, for instance, or I don't see this as a movie that you cannot actively watch, or you cannot casually watch, sorry. I see this as I had to be really engaged to watch this movie, but I didn't mind. The things of this movie that were presented, it definitely made it worth my while to watch it this way. So one thing that I was thinking about with this movie is if it's not for a party, what day of the week would I think that this movie is good for? And I had to think about this. I'm thinking it would be like a Thursday movie. So it's ramping up to the weekend, ramping up to party time, whatever. You're just with maybe some friends, maybe it's just you, maybe it's your family. Going to watch a flick. This would be kind of a weird one for young children to watch, but I'll let you decide that. Not my lane. And yeah, it's a good ramping up to the weekend movie. I would see this movie again because I did enjoy it. I don't know how often I will see it, but I would see this again. I do recommend that other people see it, especially if people like action movies, but not the typical action characters. Because you see a lot of Asian movies that have like kung fu characters or action movies that have the ripped characters or whatever. This is just a dude doing dude stuff and action moments with this dude. And if you like seeing that kind of thing, then it's right up your alley. I would also recommend this film as there are a few people that say that this is a darker film. So if you are into darker movies that have a darker theme to them for the twist, I would recommend watching that, although that wasn't my experience. I didn't find it dark. I mean, there are definitely things of the movie where I would be like, well, that's not all on the up and up, but you know, I'm fine with that. And as a person that watches horror on the regular, it didn't bother me one bit. But if you like something that's darker, I've heard a lot of people say that they found it to be darker. So with that is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you're having the best time in the situation you find yourself in. And with that, I will talk to you later.